Eila, Biothisunda, welcome to my channel. This week it is the rune Algiz. Enjoy. Hi guys, Duva here. Today we are doing the rune Algiz. A really lovely rune, one of protection, represents our higher self, and by that I mean our connection to the gods, to the upper realms, to the spiritual, that we spend a lot of our time in life not listening, not understanding, but as we get older we come to a conclusion that there is other things there. As you get older, you're making your way back to your spiritual self from where you came originally when you were born. So the preciseness of that comes via your higher self, basically finding yourself, but also in protection. But Algiz is elk, and if you look at the shape of Algiz, it represents two things: the elk and the tree of life. If you look at the way it stands with the three prongs, you will see it resembles the antlers. It also, if you look at a tree, it has a main part and then it branches off. So in other words, the Algiz symbol can represent the tree of life, Yggdrasil. But what is on Yggdrasil, you may ask? Well, the rainbow bridge that takes us to Asgard. To cross that bridge to be with the divine, you need your higher self, you need your guide, and a lot of people feel your higher self is your guide. Antlers are used by the elk as protection. They fight with them. In life, we have a connection to the world, but we don't always see things around us. We see what we want to see, and Algiz reminds us of what is actually around us, of what we can perceive. And by that I mean the spiritual, that our eyes become more open the older we become, when we realise that we don't need the things of the world, that we only need ourselves and our higher selves to attain a level of enlightenment, joy, peace, protection, truth. And by getting to that stage, we are in a different mindset to how we were when we were younger. We are connected to the world tree, just as the elk will nibble on the bottom of the yew, eating the yew plant. And if you look at the yew plant, the actual leaf, it looks also like Algiz. The correspondence is the animal would be the elk and the swan, because the swan represents flight, represents spirit, represents the gods, but it also represents the Vallkyries, for they wore cloaks with swan feathers. The swan can fly to Asgard. It can receive what it needs to and take it as a message. The swan also indicates our higher self, the spiritual. So when I look at this altar today, I haven't got any silver, but there is silver thread in the cloth, and so silver is one of the main colours. The rainbow colour also, because obviously we're talking about the bridge, and also a very nice pale green, which you get from the earth. which is basically saying our bodies, our mind, our spirit. The element is air, knowledge, attainment. Plants are the yew, the lime tree, sedge grass. The aroma would be juniper and peppermint. And the body, obviously, is the head and the brain. The beautiful stone, amethyst, because if you hold an amethyst to your third eye, you will feel it. It is very, very spiritual. It's very clairvoyant. And so how much more would we not use that one? So they're the correspondences, and also the Vallkyries are represented. So when we look at how we are spiritually during our lives, we spend a lot of our time from birth just growing up, just sensing the things around us, learning to live in a physical world. But as we get older, we start to question what our lives are really about. And for those who are born with a very spiritual outlook, this is the time of their lives when they start to search for the spiritual side of themselves. And so then we spend most of our adult life attaining, but not listening to the inner, looking outwards, receiving information from stuff around us, but not necessarily from within us. And we have a network of knowledge in our DNA, from our past lives, from our ancestors, from everyday life that we live. But as we go into older age, it is a time when we do start to look inside, and that's when we find the enlightenment, because it was there all the time. As the swan lifts off and goes up into the tree, you, in the glint of the light of the sun, can see the rainbow bridge, and you know that you can attain the rights to use that bridge to go to Asgard, to meet with the divine, and to find what it is you've been looking for all your life. So not only does the elk protect and the swan give knowledge, but you have become one with yourself, with the divinity within yourself and the divine above. A wonderful time that once you attain this, you feel you have arrived home. To take your seats and just sit comfortably and to relax and to take a deep breath in through the nose and hold it, and out through the mouth, in through the nose and out through the mouth. So you keep breathing until you start to feel that sensation of relaxation within yourself. Forget the past, forget the present, and not worry about the future. So you find yourself in the dark, and you know what it is because you have been here many times before on other journeys. You know you are in the time before creation, Ginongagat, the time where things are about to come to be. In the distance, in the left hand side, you can see a small pinprick of light, and in the opposite side another small pinprick of light, both fire and ice, the two items, the two forces that need to come together to create existence, a world. You look ahead, and in the distance you can see the colour of a beautiful silver and rainbow and green colour swirling in a beautiful, graceful way, making its way towards you. And as it becomes nearer, you know that it is the rune door for Algiz. So you go towards it, and as it comes nearer, you feel yourself drifting in through the door. For the element is air, and as it is air, we need to feel that air, we need to feel light. And you go through the door to find yourself in the world of Algiz. And you find yourself standing on a pathway which is very muddy and wet and cold. And when you look around you, you realise it is the time of year where it is either the end of autumn or the beginning of winter. It is at that time of the year where you feel not one thing nor the other. You see an elk at the bottom of this huge tree, and when you look up you cannot see everything, it is so huge. And the elk is gnawing at the bottom of the tree, and it turns and looks at you very knowingly. And as you go towards it, it bears its antlers towards you as if it's protecting itself. And you look at this and you realise that this is you. This is how you have been. You in your earthly form on the earth. Protecting yourself, eating, drinking, living. The elk is showing you what you have been. But it's also very representative of life. And so you look at the elk and you wish him well. After a little while he turns from you and carries on with what he's doing. He is your guide as such within the you, the soul. You wonder what else there is to come, and you hear a noise. When you turn and look, you see a beautiful swan with his feathers in flight, coming towards you, but ignoring you like you're not there. You call out and say, "Hello there, who are you?" And in your mind you hear a voice. "You know who I am, for I have been with you all your life. But you have ignored me for most of it, not listening, just listening to what you want to. Now you have time to listen, and I will show you." So you look at this beautiful swan who is free of all the dirt on the ground, free of all the muck and disaster. He's free with beautiful feathers flowing, and you realise that that was a part of you that has never been tainted, that has always stayed spiritual, your higher self, your spiritual higher self. Some people would say your guide, the one that is full of enlightenment, the one that will tell you when things are not right, but whether you listen is another matter. You wish you could be up there with this beautiful swan, and the swan knows and answers you. There is a way. Attainment, enlightenment, knowledge, knowing your inner self, knowing your higher self, knowing the spiritual around you will show you the pathway to the divinity, to the divine, to the realms of Asgard. But only you can do it. Only you can do it. Stop putting the protection up to stop yourself from attaining this. Allow yourself to understand what it is you have been striving for all your life. And as you feel this feeling inside, when you think of this beautiful swan and the elk, the tree, and how many years you wasted. But the swan says it's not wasted. Your time here is of learning, and you did learn. But now it's time for you to open up your spiritual aspect. And with that, you feel this beautiful feeling of love within you, which starts to spread from the middle of your being outwards into the rest of your body. A vibrant love that you cannot tell anybody what it feels like, for it takes over, and you feel, you just love. The love is so strong you could cry. All your emotions are coming together, for you have found enlightenment. And this, my friends, is how you feel Algiz. When you look at Algiz, you will feel this. When you look up, there is the Rainbow Bridge, waiting for you to cross it, to visit the divine. You look at it in awe, and you know that that will be a journey that you can take another time, when you have more time to not worry about how you got here, but to start your journey from your enlightenment. The swan says, well done, you now know. And she then becomes a Vallkyrie. With her beautiful feathered outfit, she flies up to Asgard. And you realise you have been with divinity all along. For we are not disconnected from them. We disconnect ourselves from them. You look around and realise that Algiz is standing there waiting for you to cross back through. And you feel so full of love and enlightenment, you don't really want to come back, but you know you must. So you turn round and you say goodbye to the elk, and the Vallkyrie has gone. The swan has gone, the Rainbow Bridge has gone. You take one last look at the beautiful tree. You make your way back through the rune doorway, back to where you come from. And as you do this, you feel the air breeze you through. And when you're ready, guys, open your eyes, twiddle your fingers and your toes, and make sure you eat and drink something as soon as, for you will need grounding. And there, guys, is your small trip to find yourself, to find divinity, to find your spiritual self. And you can use and get there through using Algiz. I hope you enjoyed that. Thank you to my new subscribers. Notice I'm saying my new subscribers rather than any new subscribers. I am receiving some subscribers now, so thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. And for those returning viewers, thank you also. I really do appreciate it. And to those that are supporting me like you do, I really do also appreciate it. Love you guys. You are the one thing that keeps this channel going. I will be doing the next video for Saturday. I don't know what it will be about yet, but it will be a subject which I'm sure you'll be interested in. So wherever you are, whatever time of day, night or evening it may be, I wish you the best ever. House of Elaine.